Hi everyone, Pete and Grada here. How are you?
Hi everyone.
Tonight we want to talk about how you can minimize Christmas binge eating over the holidays, so you come out the other end with feeling intact without extra kilos.
You've maintained your weight.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? That you can survive Christmas and all the the jolly season without stacking on an extra 5 kilos or so. So Pete and I have done a little bit of thinking into this subject.
I actually asked people for help to think of the subject to talk about, and that was the one thing that came to us today via a client.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of when I was over in Holland. New Year's Eve was a big time for celebration in Holland. Everyone let off fireworks, but before that the tradition was to eat
Olieballen,
which are deep fried
fruit buns, donuts, like a fruit bun.
Like a bread bun that was deep fried. And when I was there
40 years ago,
one of Grada's brothers indulged himself on olieballen so much that he missed out on all the fireworks at 12 o'clock. They used to go on for at least half an hour, everyone lighting fireworks. And this time, her poor brother was kneeling in front of a toilet,
vomiting his heart
heaving his heart out because he'd eaten too many olieballen. So that reminded me when this person said, how can we minimise Christmas binging?
Okay, and I just want to say, for Peter, that was a real eye-opener actually, because Pete comes from a very traditional Tasmanian English, polite, family of 7, and his mum actually used to serve out the meal on the plate, and that's all they ever ate, no more, no less.
One plateful.
That was it, and then Pete arrived in Holland, and then he became my boyfriend, and he used to eat along with the blockers. My name is Blocker, and Peter couldn't believe it. We would just fill up our plates.
The pans were put on the table, and people had to help themselves. I'd help myself to a moderate plateful.
I could never believe it.
And finish that, and they were pushing the bowls over to me. Here, help yourself.
I know, because we used to eat at least 2 to 3 platefuls.
2 or 3 helpings. And,
and if you look at the photos now of when I was young, we all had like stick legs. We just were like thin like matches, really. But we did eat a lot of food for our main meals. And so in Peter's eyes, I'm sure my family, because he then lived with us before I migrated to Tasmania, Peter had quite a few shocks to the system actually living with us. So yeah, that's right. So the olieballen story is a funny one, and of course my brother survived.
But in those meals that were served up in Holland, they cooked all their meat in butter, in about that much butter in the.
We call that stew, which is French.
It mixed with the meat juice, and they used to pour that over all their veggies, over all their meat, so they consumed heaps and heaps of
saturated fats.
Good fat.
But at the time, I thought that was bad. Pete and I, for many years, we thought that was bad. We avoided fats, and this is the key to what we want to lead into. We absolutely avoided fats because we thought that was bad for many years. So we were on like a skim low-fat diet, probably for the first 20 years of our marriage. And it wasn't really till the science came out, the real science, about 15 years ago, that hey, we've all been misled, because fats don't make you fat. It's like the fruits and the carbohydrates that make you fat and clog up your arteries. Even fruits, I'll let Peter talk, but I just want to say this, fruits, you have to be careful with fruits too, because we have so much fruit right now. But excess fructose converts into cholesterol, and that's what fills up your arteries. Okay, so.
But Grada's father, who used to pour bucket loads of stew over his vegetables, over his meals,
the meat juice and the butter.
He ended up with cholesterol levels of around 4.
3, I think.
Yeah, less than 4.
And he was really very, very healthy.
He was very strong and healthy.
Right until
Yeah.
the last year when he had a few falls and he broke his hip and then his brain got a bit confused. But he was still so strong right till he died. You know, if he hadn't been falling over, he would still be alive.
And our energy levels with fats, our energy levels stay nice and even all day long. And it's when our energies drop that we feel hungry.
That we feel peckish.
And so the key, one of the major keys to stop picking at foods that our eyes tell us look nice, because I grew up a sweet tooth and grew up on toast and honey
and dates
roll
and bananas
oats and everything, and my palate was used to sweet things, and my eyes still tell me that, hey, that looks nice, but I take one mouthful now and it's far too sweet because I've changed my source of fuel to fats rather than sugars.
I want to say because I changed, Peter. Aha.
I'm the strong one. But Grada, she likes savoury stuff all along. But I was a sweet tooth, but now my taste buds have changed.
So it can happen, right?
And it can happen, but our eyes still tell us that, hey, that looks nice. But if you're not hungry, you'll try a little bit, but you won't have it in excess, so you won't be putting on the kilos or gorging on sweet stuff, because our bodies can only cope with about 1 teaspoonful of sugar at a time, 4 times a day, and all the rest goes to extra kilos, extra stored fat. And a lot of that fat is stored in the liver, as we've often said before, inhibiting the liver to get rid of the waste out of the body, which is the bile that is needed to digest fats with. So when we turn to using fats for energy, we need to get that bile flow going. And that's where one of the most amazing supplements we've ever come across is beet flow. That helps the bile flow from the liver, which is the waste out of the body.
I'll just see if you can see that.
And that is what we need to be taking to keep that bile flow going, so we digest our fats properly, so we get the energy from them, so we can convert to
fat burners.
Fat burners instead of sugar.
A fat burner is like driving your car on diesel, and we all know that diesel motors last a lot longer and they burn cleaner, for instance, than gas, I assume, or petrol. Is that true?
Well,
used to be back in the old days. Peter used to tell me that, so maybe he told me lying.
Well, diesel engines go a lot longer than
so if you want to go a lot longer, just use a fuel that burns clean without any too many toxins and stuff like that to create the fuel. So
the other thing that I recommend people have, which was in our Ultimate Vitality Boost pack that we put together last year, was an enzyme, which also includes lipase, which is the enzyme to break down fats with as well. So those 2 things will help you digest your fats a lot better. You become a fat burner, so you don't rely on all those sweet, high starch carbohydrates.
Is there anything else you want to say? Because the Omnizyme has herbal extracts in it, that will actually help your liver as well. So it supports liver function, and it's got intestinal sodas as well to help your intestines, protected from the onslaught of the Christmas period.
So Christmas morning, wake up and have a Purple House smoothie with lots of good oils and fats and chia seeds that keep you going.
Or the night before.
all morning. So
you feel full.
So you feel totally satisfied, so you won't be picking at all the delicious looking.
And Christmas smoothie is like that, so it looks healthy, doesn't it? And the key ingredient is bioregulars, which we have been stocking forever, which is like an awesome, it's a complete food in itself. But I wanted to say something. Chia seeds Like they fill you up because they swell up in your tummy. They give you good clean energy. They have nutrients, like they're very rich in like a high quality food. And so I would even recommend that you take a spoonful, dissolve it in water so it swells up, and then you eat it, and you can mix it in your food. And that will stop you from feeling hungry, and it also hydrates your body. So hydration is a big thing in the summer, and chia seeds help your body to hang on to the water, so you actually stay watered on the inside. And I also want to say, and I've said this many times too, when you get a sugar craving, go to the salt jar first. So get some Himalayan salt, the pink salt, and put some salt on your tongue, because
followed by a glass of water.
A lot of the time when we crave sugar, it's actually the body is crying out for salt. It's crying out for minerals. And the more sugar you eat, so like even if you binge on sugar or sweet stuff for a few days, you have to remember you're burning through your minerals, because the body is just pulling out minerals from your bones and everywhere to deal with the sugar load. So always just think logically, have some salt first and some water.
And with people with their Christmas dinner, they all, in Tasmania particularly, they all like their potatoes. I could never convince any farmers to stop eating potatoes. So what I said was to eat a small potato with your butter, rather than a bit of butter with your potato, have small potato with large amounts of butter. So,
but it's probably better anyway not to have potatoes. Just forget about them.
It is, but a roast potato does taste nice.
Yeah, that's right.
So include a little bit in your Christmas dinner, but have lots of good fats with it.
Yeah.
So you're getting most of your energy from fats rather than sugars, which carbohydrates turn into.
Coconut oil is one of the greatest oils for your body. So it's a really high quality oil, and if you like the taste of coconut oil, you're in luck, because you can have as much as you like, and it helps to kill parasites, it kills candida,
prevents or reverses Alzheimer's.
Yeah, that's right. You can reverse Alzheimer's by taking 3 tablespoons of coconut oil a day, like a minimum of 3 to 6 tablespoons of oil. It kills parasites. It's just really one of those miracle oils that's available.
Antifungal.
Yeah, so if you like coconut oil, absolutely go binge on coconut oil and
make yourself good fat balls for Christmas treats.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, I don't like coconut oil. I've never liked it, but you do, don't you, Pete?
Yeah, I
so
don't
Peter,
there's heaps of good paleo and keto diet recipes on the net.
Yeah, just look for it.
Look them up. When our grandson developed inflammation in his eyes, we put him on
blind.
We put him on an autoimmune paleo diet, which cut out all carbohydrates pretty well, and he was just on meats and fats. And within a couple of months, the inflammation had disappeared out of his eyes. So if you've got autoimmune disorders, look up the autoimmune paleo diet and stick with it, and the inflammation will disappear.
And there are yummy things that you can make with raw cacao and good oils, coconut oil and chia seeds.
We went pretty well ketogenic at that point in time, and it was around this time of year, so we did
6 years ago.
We did, from that time on, Christmas was mainly paleo or keto, and it's really good, delicious food. You don't have to compromise on deliciousness.
But Pete and I now find that if we do eat carbohydrates, we actually start to feel hungry. So the funny thing is, carbs wake up your hunger feeling, and if you don't eat carbohydrates, you literally don't feel hungry. So that's also another really important key. And the other thing to remember is that if you do feel hungry, your body is often crying out for water. Like it's really thirsty, you're feeling thirsty, but it's like our computer is not properly processing the cries in your body for water anymore. So that's another thing. Avoid any kind of other drink other than water. Really, you save yourself a lot of calories. Just drink nice water, filtered water, or herbal teas and things like that. Yeah, that are good.
And remember your salt, your minerals.
Yeah, that's right. So that's key as well. So I think that sort of puts it in a nutshell for everyone. And you can.
But you may, if you haven't been used to having lots of fats, you'll probably need the beet flow to get them digested properly.
Yeah, that's right. And I remember we had a client who absolutely couldn't stand any form of fat or cream or anything that would just make her feel so sick. And it took her a whole year though, and we encouraged to just increase your fat intake, like, so she had more cream and she had more other things, and along with that the beet flow. And after a full 12 months of doing that, her liver became really, really healthy. Because our livers, remember, they purify our blood, they detoxify toxins and everything. Our livers need fats to detoxify, to get rid of all the toxins. And in a lot of human beings now, their livers are kind of atrophied, is the word really. They've become kind of thin and sickly and calcified even.
Lots of people have non-alcoholic fatty livers.
Yeah, due to not enough fats in the diet. So our livers absolutely need fats to stay healthy. And even if your liver is sick, or like shriveled up or dried up because of the lack of good fats in your diet, the liver regenerates itself every 6 weeks.
It can be revived.
With my client, okay, the liver does regenerate every 6 weeks, but it still took her a whole year. But she got there after a year. She was able to eat any kind of fats and never feel nauseous, and she had good energy, and her skin was glowing. Actually, her skin looked like as if she'd had a facelift by the end of the year. So that's pretty amazing as well.
I had a client come back just last week, I think, for her 2 trusty supplements, Enzymes and Bile, and she was singing my praises because she had lost 8 kilograms. She was able to be out in the garden for many hours a day doing heavy work, going for walks, and she's thoroughly looking
and not only
years younger than when I first saw her.
She was pre-diabetic too, and that was gone as well. So that's amazing. Yeah. So this is all good news. You don't need to do a lot different, just a little tweak here and there, and you can get through the Christmas season and come out the other end feeling even better than before. Because of course Christmas is about bonding, connecting, enjoying, and cooking and eating is a big part of all that, of course, isn't it?
You don't want to be kneeling in front of the toilet.
No, Peter, you don't. So
you want to be bonding with, connecting with.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm sure you will all get the drift. You get the message, I hope. But anyway, we're still here next week, so we still have a whole week ahead of us, all of us, to get ready and to prepare. And so just enjoy the anticipation. Come and get your supplement, or we can post them out to you. And we're open every Wednesday and Thursday night. Every Wednesday and Thursday. I'm thinking it's 9
to 5.
Yeah. And just get yourself into a really good shape for the new year, when it's exciting things ahead of us all. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And if you have any more questions, just put them in the comment box. And I look forward to seeing you again next Thursday night. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.